Received by Gomez. Toth. No. Correa. Eng. Cargill. No. That's it. And the Falcons, for the first time since 2006, are the Region 19 tournament champions.
Hey everybody, welcome to a very spooky edition, because it's Halloween, even though we're not watching this on Halloween, but we're filming it on Halloween.
Right, so we'll let you know tomorrow how Halloween was today.
Right.
If you watch it.
Sure.
Right?
No.
But today's Halloween, we don't have to worry about it being canceled.
Halloween.
Right.
Right. But we're not going to be able to tell anyone how Halloween is because we're not going to see anyone.
Right, and we're not predicting that it might take place today, like some of those basketball games last year.
Let's not get into this again.
Halloween is happening today.
It is happening today.
So we hope everyone had a happy Halloween.
We hope they did.
My least favorite holiday of the holidays.
That's what we heard, but you do love candy corn.
I do love candy corn.
What's the top 3 Rickert power ranking of holidays?
I'm going to go Christmas, Thanksgiving,
Okay.
and then the third is a toss-up.
Yeah, it's a wild card.
Yeah. I mean, Valentine's Day's out. Halloween out. I mean, Easter's good.
Well, you get your peeps.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to go Easter.
It's another eating holiday
yeah,
too.
I'm going to go
you know?
Easter. Because then I'll eat some kielbasa and ham and stuff too. But I'll do the same thing on Christmas.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you on Christmas. I really enjoy the 4th of July.
I was in 4th of July. I was in contention there.
I do. I mean, really, it comes down to the fact that it's warm.
Yeah. And there could be some beverages involved outside.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It's
not
warm
that we condone any of that.
It's
but
summer. It's some fireworks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't like how fireworks gone for 6 months at 4 a.m.
Right, that's it.
You know, that's incredibly frustrating.
Ferg, where's Halloween rank for you?
Not in the top 3.
Well, you guys got small kids though, so it's different for you. So
Yes,
you kind of
yeah,
have
so
to still pretend to like it.
That brings it up a little bit more for me because of that, but otherwise.
Yes, my enjoyment of it is a little more now that I have children that can dress up for it. It was never my thing though, and so now you kind of have to tamp that down and act excited about it, right? Because if you're not a fan of Halloween, you can't also be a drag on it. So.
Right.
Or
yeah,
as
so
I was
think
a drag on.
What'll be good is that we can have pictures of our kids,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can see if Rickert has any old ones.
I do have an old picture of me and Mason.
Yeah.
Dressed up one time when he was dressed up as Batman, and I had a Robin.
Tell me you were Robin.
I was Robin.
Yes.
I took a picture of my office on the previous job. So I think I had that saved somewhere. So I'll check after the show, and then we can toss it on.
I think was it 2 years ago when we were doing this? We did Joe Exotic and
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
we had E as our tiger.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Not quite. He's the only one dressed up.
Yes.
That's the only one. So.
All right, back to Falcons.
Yeah, let's start with the big one.
Okay, good. So
with our live studio audience.
Yes. So
Coach of the year.
I think
Morgan.
I think she's sitting there just because she wants to hear what she's going to say, what we're going to say about it.
Yeah.
But
Champs.
Region 19 champs. First time since forever.
Since 2006.
Yes.
Since 2006 in year 2.
Yes. With all first-year players.
Yeah.
Squad.
Yeah. So I mean, all first-year players. So there's a little bit of pressure to make sure that they all come back and that we repeat.
Yep.
But talk a little bit about the weekend.
Well, first, before we get into that, I'm going to give, of course, Coach Shelby's got to get a lot of credit, but I'm also going to give credit to Coach McCary because he was in attendance for the first week of volleyball when the girls maybe weren't at their best and said they got to get better. Right, Coach Shelby? Yeah. And then you took that personally. You took that personally. So yes. So a shout out to Coach McCary for the inspiration,
The motivation.
And Coach Shelby, just so you know, he was on that because he sent out a group chat asking if volleyball won.
Yeah, he did on Saturday night.
He was fired up for your victory. Yeah. So he's going to take some credit for that. That's how we roll around here.
Yeah.
All right, good, but. Yes, but
they're the last. They were the last 2 Region 19 champs.
Yep.
They come in the spring, and we do this in the fall. So
Right. So Coach Shelby and her ladies 3-0 against Del Tech in the opening round, and then faced off against County College of Morris in the championship, and 3-1 victory.
Yeah, face some adversity too. Knowing that you had to wake up to play a match early, and then able to face some adversity and come back and have to play an hour later after not being sure when that was going to happen, and face a team that has much improved in Morris, and especially after dropping that second set to be able to come back in the third and fourth set.
And kudos to Morris though, because they were improved from the first time we saw.
Oh, absolutely, definitely.
It was better.
Definitely improved, and I mean, like you said, adversity. Some of the kids may have left. They weren't planning to play at least until 2. Then it's 12:45. I will say kudos to the coach from Morris who, during that process was also already preparing his team. Then they had to stop as much as we already played.
Right.
But, coaches talked and just came to an agreement of what time would be good, and everybody was okay with it. So it worked out, and it's nice to be able to be the host. Would have been nice to have the bye.
Sure.
But, you're getting some extra matches there, Coach, to get ready for this upcoming weekend.
Yep.
Where we host Hartford Community College on Saturday.
Yep. Yeah, so it'll be interesting this Saturday. 1 o'clock, right, is the match. But even going back next week, all the girls contributed, I think, equally. Gabby Gomez was Region 19 tournament, all-tournament, and then Maddy Durfee was MVP of the Region 19 tournament. So congratulations. But, all the ladies out there were very deserving of
Angie Fuentes had a really good she had a really good couple matches. I know Nadia Toth really came on in like the third set against Delaware Tech, kind of helped seal that win. Yeah. Everybody contributed. April Martindale served well, and Zalia Small had a big task against 2 good blockers in the middle.
And you've seen Zalia's progress throughout. Throughout the
looked really confident and was able to get a couple kills on some overpasses and stuff, and everybody contributed.
Yeah. So like Berg said that
we're hosting
1 o'clock
this
on Saturday. That is LackawannaFalcons.com/live. Would that be a Tom Ferguson call?
That would be a Tom Ferguson special.
I was just going to say the play-by-play by Ferg last week. It was great. You know what I mean? So I think we still set that standard a little bit higher than everybody else. People reached out and said, thanks. For doing it, and then not just setting the camera and go. So for bigger events and when we're fully staffed and being able to do those things, it can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
so great
another exciting week of volleyball this coming weekend, Saturday.
Looking forward to it.
The chance to advance to the national tournament in Iowa.
Sure.
Yes. All right. So are you talking to Maddy?
I have to track her down. Zoe, we couldn't talk to. I might end up getting for next week's episode because I'm not going to be able to talk to her until later this week. But Maddy, I'm going to try to track down because I think her schedule is a little easier to manage. So
she's wide open. All right.
So maybe I'll talk to her later today.
All right, good. So let's take a break and then you can talk to Maddy and then we'll talk about the so great things that happened last weekend.
Some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right. We'll be back in the Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, Sports Information Director with Lackawanna College, and we're talking to our Lackawanna College Athlete of the Week, Maddy Durfee, joining us here on the program. Maddy, thanks so much for coming on. Congratulations on the big victory, the region championship, and winning Athlete of the Week. I mean, how did that feel for you guys going into Saturday, playing Delaware Tech, who you knew that was going to be a tough matchup again, and then having to play just about an hour later against Morris? You guys overcame so much to win that. How did that feel, kind of accomplishing that goal for you guys?
It felt amazing. We're all very excited, and it's all what we've been wanting all season, and it happened.
And it just kind of came together,
Yes.
right? I mean, the Del Tech match, I thought, was one of your better matches as a team. 3-0, a sweep there. Coming back in that second set obviously was the big one. What kind of turned things around? Because at one point you guys were down 10 points. How did you turn that around in the second set?
We just kept our heads high, and we started communicating a little bit more, and we just made sure that we eliminated our errors and made them make their errors.
And that's what seemed like started to happen. And you get that point, that set point to win set two. What was the feeling on the bench, and what was the feeling with the team as you guys head into the third set there?
It was like all happy vibes. We were all excited. Like we all thought like, oh, maybe we wouldn't do it, but Coach pulled us out for a timeout, and she was like, guys, I have no doubt in my mind that you guys cannot come back. And then we came back, and so she was right. So it was.
And then you made that happen, and then have to play a little sooner maybe than you thought you were going to on Saturday, but against a really good Morris team. And again, kind of coming back from some deficits in those sets as well. What kind of turned things around for you guys against Morris?
We just kept our energy high, and like we knew that we could do it. We just had to execute it, and
that's what happened.
Yeah.
So as the setter, you had 49 assists, you had some big digs as well, a couple aces. As the setter, what is your role more or less on the team?
I try to make sure that everyone is up and like not down, like especially my hitters, because if they swing one out, I want to make sure that they got the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the ball up to make sure that we can get a kill out of it.
Right, just make sure you're setting the table for them, right? And that was the goal, and that's what happened on Saturday. I mean, how has adjusting to the collegiate game been for you? Coming obviously from years of playing in high school and club and all that, how has that adjustment been to the collegiate game?
It was really tough in the beginning of the season. And then I got more used to the way that things roll. It's a faster paced game, and we just had to adjust. Right.
And that's what's worked out. And now you guys win the region championship. I mean, what was that feeling like, knowing that you've made history? That and years from now, there's going to be a number on the wall that's going to represent the season that you guys played.
It was an amazing feeling. There's no other feeling besides we finally did it.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that we haven't won in 17 years, it just made it even more exciting.
Right, more special,
Yeah.
right? So now, obviously, the goal is to try to win, but you've got a tall task ahead of you guys with Hartford coming in on Saturday. I mean, what are the vibes of the team going into the match on Saturday?
It's going to be one of our harder games, but I don't think that we won't do it. I feel like we can.
Yeah.
We just have to play our game and
just control what you can control,
Yes.
right? So we're talking with Maddy Durfee, our Athlete of the Week from Lackawanna College Women's Volleyball, helping make history here at Lackawanna College. So Maddy, you're from Buffalo originally, right?
Yes.
So what brought you down to Scranton here?
Coach Shelby emailed me one day, and then I did a little research. I came down and visited 3 times, and then I decided that this was the school for me.
So what was it about Lackawanna that kind of made you think, all right, I can do my thing here?
I think it was the people. I came and everyone was so nice to me. Coach Shelby was really nice to me. She always she made a connection, and that's what I liked.
Mm-hmm. And then you saw the gym, obviously. Did that have any effect on it?
I've never played in a gym that big.
So that certainly made a difference. What are you studying here at Lackawanna?
Business.
So what do you want to do with business?
I hope to open my own business one day. I want to be my own boss.
Okay.
But I don't know for what yet.
Don't know what that business is.
Yeah.
Do you want to play collegiately if and when you move on to a 4-year school?
I hope so.
That's the goal?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the goal.
How long have you been playing volleyball?
Since I was 11.
Okay, so what is it about volleyball that you think speaks to you that makes you enjoy it so much?
I can just when I touch the ball, it just everything else doesn't matter. It's just a nice little reset just volleyball, and that's what I like about it.
You guys on the team are all first-year students, so has there been a lot of kind of bonding in the sense that you're all going through a lot of the same things for the first time?
Yes, we do everything together, and then we know like the struggle of like not being home and then being in the dorm, and we know like the struggle of like the pressure being all freshmen on the team, because none of us have ever played college volleyball before. So
Sure.
it was a transition, but we got there.
How do you think, has the coaching staff kind of helped you guys along as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who on the coaching staff do you think has been the one that's really helped them? Obviously, Shelby and Kate and everybody and Ashley are all kind of their different roles. Who's kind of the person that's kind of helping everybody along, or is it kind of a team effort?
It's kind of a team effort. They all help in their own ways. Like,
Okay. What's practice like with you guys? Is it super intense? Does it have its moments, its ebbs and flows?
well, when it's early in the morning, we kind of start off rough.
So that's right. You guys have switched to an early morning practice
Yes.
schedule. So who's getting everybody pumped up? Who's getting everybody excited and ready for practice in the morning?
I go and I wake everyone up on the team.
Okay.
And then we get to the gym, and then Lay, she has the music, which gets everyone going.
Okay.
And then that's...
And then that kind of rolls it.
rolls
So you're not everybody's favorite person right away, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Everyone's got to warm up for a
Yes.
second, right? Who on the team is kind of the most intense that you think in terms of practice or even games? Who's the most intense?
I think Gabby, she's very intense. She's
Yeah.
very intense on the court. Like, she gets the floor, like her sweat drips, and then it's like sticky.
Now, I didn't want to bring it up. There was a lot of stoppages for towels. Is that Gabby's fault?
It's, yeah.
Well, not necessarily the only culprit there.
Not the only culprit, but we all look at Gabby and be like, oh, Gabby, why is the ball sweaty?
Who on the team is kind of the, what am I trying to say, I don't want to say the jokester, but someone that kind of like gives everybody a little levity, kind of breaks things up when things are a little too tense, with whether it's something funny or just kind of Alasia.
Yeah.
She keeps everybody on that
she's
level.
Very funny.
So obviously the goal is to win and play your best on Saturday. I mean, is it weird to be thinking that you're towards the end of the first season?
I don't want to be at the end, but I'm glad that we're like playing like these difficult games. But like knowing like if we lose Saturday, like
it's over.
It's over. Like my freshman year's over.
Sure. So the goal is to just do what you can do, right?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on winning Athlete of the Week. Congrats on the region championship. We hope we get to talk to you guys again. We hope that we get to be a part of that. But we want everybody to come out on Saturday, right? Anybody that can come out on Saturday for what's going to be a fun matchup with you guys in Hartford. Maddy, thanks so much for joining us here in Falcons Corner.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more. It's Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Going to college is a lot more than just about getting an education. It's a life experience.
It's personal growth.
Connections that last a lifetime.
It's memories that are everlasting and experiences that you could have never imagined. It's an education that will change your life forever.
This is life-changing. This is Lackawanna College.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, Sports Information Director with Lackawanna College, and we've ventured out of the Student Union down to the spacious and pretty cool esports arena here at Lackawanna College, and I'm with the esports administrator, the guy in charge here, Bob Dee. Bob, thanks for joining us here on Falcons Corner.
Thanks, Ferg. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Pleasure to have you aboard. We will get into the big event coming up on the weekend, but let's do a quick update, at least with what's going on esports-wise. Getting ready for playoffs next week.
Yes. Super Smash Brothers, Xavier, and Bikram will be going on to the Tier 1 playoffs. Surf and Jan, they still have a couple more weeks, and then they'll be going to playoffs.
Right.
Most likely. Rocket League has playoffs as well next week. Valorant didn't qualify, unfortunately, but we're building on that one. And knock on wood, back to Rocket League. we bring it home again.
And of course, that was the next question. Rocket League champions from last spring had a pretty good run through the NJCAA league this season so far. So certainly one of the teams to beat. I mean, how are the guys feeling going into the playoffs?
They're very confident. One of the teams, I think it was Wake Tech, one of their players became ineligible, and he was one of the best in the country in the NJC. So unfortunate for them.
Sure.
But
maybe an opportunity.
Opportunity for us.
Right.
We did have a roster snafu in the beginning. But our sub, Jacob, really stepped up. And they've been playing well together and getting some sessions in.
Well, and that's probably got to help for Jacob, too, to have guys like Guadalupe and Matthew Kelly that have been with the program, know what they're doing, and have kind of been able to bring him along.
Yeah, it's been great. I actually had to give Jacob a mouse because he's one of the few Rocket League players who play mouse and keyboard, and he broke his. So we had to lend him one from our stream PC that Joel, our production assistant, isn't happy about losing. So I have to hook Joel up here with something. I'm going to have to dig through my archives back home.
Right.
Because we only have enough for just what we have. So, yeah, Jacob is mouse and keyboard. We had one a couple of years ago when I first started, Domasaur. Dom played mouse and keyboard, and from what I understand, it's few and far between Rocket League. Everybody's usually Xbox or PlayStation 4 or 5 controller.
Sure, right. So we'll see, but that'll start next Friday, right?
Friday, yes. Tuesday will be Super Smash Brothers. Friday will be Rocket League, and then as we progress, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But the big event coming up is on Sunday, November 5th. Third time we're doing this, right? With Extra Life and with Bartari. So can you tell us a little bit about that event? So
we partner up with Bartari in downtown Scranton, their local barcade, and the charity event we do benefits the Extra Life Foundation, which our local children's hospitals, the Geisinger, Janet Weiss.
Janet Weiss down in Danville, right?
Yes. So we will be there live streaming 11 to 11. I will be there earlier all day setting up. We'll be streaming, having games, milestones. I have some fun ones. One of our Super Smash Brothers players, Surf, may have volunteered to do a dinosaur dance, and I put it as one of the milestones. So I have one of those big inflatable dinosaur suits. We got Bean Boozled. I bought a bunch of warheads to take us back to our youth.
Oh, wow.
So we'll do a sour candy challenge. I just got done making sunglasses and taping them off for like a tunnel vision.
Right.
So X amount of bucks, tunnel vision for a couple of rounds. So we'll get like one of the Rocket League or Overwatch players playing that. That'll be pretty funny. I think also after this interview, I'm going to go down to student wellness and see if they get beer goggles.
Okay.
So we'll do like a beer goggles game.
Okay.
But it'll be good. Bartar does what's called Quarters for Kids. So any of the proceeds put into the machines and played, they will also get donated. We lump it all together.
Sure.
The past couple of years, we've gotten like $4,500 roughly. So we're looking to eclipse that, and we already have a couple good starts.
Good. Awesome. And of course, they'll be doing raffles there as well.
Yes.
I know we have a couple big things to try to raffle away, right?
Yes. Esports is raffling off merch, a Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
I think you guys in athletics will be getting something together. Waiting to hear back from Assistant Director Pardini on that one. And then I think I've been doing a raffle too. So our new fancy esports sweatshirts, we'll raffle them off to staff and faculty.
And Bartari, are they running a raffle as well? Were they doing something with an arcade game or something?
Yes, there's one of those one-up arcades that you see at like Best Buy. So it's like 50 games or 150 games. So that's like the grand prize.
That's
cool. Think there's also $500 cash. Yeah. And then Picardo Jewelers also donated a Tory Burch watch, which is very fancy. So if you want to get some tickets for the missus, it's a fancy watch. So yeah, it'll be cool.
That's cool. And partnering with Bartari ever since this started a couple of years ago, it made sense. And they've been great partners with us to put this together, right?
Yeah, they've been great partners, and we're also running, I forgot to mention, a little Super Smash Brothers tournament. Okay. So I'm going to put up, I think, like $80. So then that'll be the start of the pot, and it'll be like $5 a head. And then from there, whatever the total prize is for the amount of entrants, we'll split that. Half will get donated to the winner, or given to the winner, and half will be donated to the charity to put a little extra on it.
So this is going on Sunday, November 5th, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Obviously, you guys will be streaming on the Twitch channel, but we're encouraging people to come out for the event at Bartari in downtown Scranton, right?
If you're not moving your house or anything, stop by. and say hi.
Yeah, stop by, say hello. I mean, it's the great part too is it's not, you guys aren't necessarily just focusing on one game.
Yes.
There's a bunch of different games being played throughout the stream and throughout the time we're down there.
Yeah, there'll be a couple fun games like Fall Guys, and then I bought something called Party Animals, where it's like you're a stuffed animal and you're like all like loosey goosey, and you have to like beat up people and throw them off the map, and it's hysterical. So that'll be a good one.
One of those good party games.
Oh
right?
yeah. And then like I have like a Jackbox, so we can like get a bunch of people, because I think Marywood's going to tag along and bring some of their student athletes as well. So what we'll do is we'll put it up on like the big TV, and the games go from like one person up to like 8 or 10.
Right.
So we'll get a bunch of people do and have fun with it.
Right.
And then my favorite I'm hoping for is I have Ninja Turtles
Okay.
remade from one of the old school arcade games on my Switch that I'll bring. So we'll try to get like 4 people up for it and see if we could beat the game in a couple minutes.
Right.
It'll be fun though.
That'll be great. And of course, Bartari has a bunch of different arcade games that people can play with, and they've
all
got
the arcades.
Got great drinks and food there as well. And it's an all day event.
Yeah, it is. It's an all day event, and they have really cool pinball machines.
Yes.
I think they just got a bunch of like 80s style ones. So like there's a bunch of Rock Band ones from like, I think there's been Kiss. I think I've seen a Pearl Jam one. Adam's Family, like that's a classic one.
Right.
There was a Mandalorian one last year, which was a newer one. That was like, I think I spent like $20
and as
on
a Star Wars guy,
yeah.
Right up your alley.
Yes, sir.
So that's going on 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday, November 5th. The Extra Life with Bartari, Lackawanna College Esports, and raising money for the Janet Weiss Hospital. Again, great to be able to partner with them,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
And to be able to do that. So we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing what happens with esports the rest of the way.
Yes.
Hard to believe we're at the end of the semester, or shouldn't say that. We're towards the end of the semester, into that kind of last stretch. You know?
It was a very hectic beginning to the season, and then I blinked and it's now. So it's like, that's what I said, even like when graduation was going on, you and I were talking, getting stuff set up for graduation streaming.
Yeah.
And then like I blinked, it was September, took over esports, and then blinked again. We're at the end of
and now here we are.
The premier season. Yeah, it's wild. So.
It's wild, but we're hoping to talk about more W's and talk about good things for Rocket League and Super Smash moving forward here as we get into the playoff situation.
Yes, sir, buddy. Can't
All right.
wait.
And we'll see you on Sunday, November 5th out at Bartari. We'll be back. Bob, thanks so much, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
buddy.
you coming on with us. We'll be back more. It's Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Hey everybody, we're back on the Falcons Corner, voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickard. I forgot to introduce us because I was so excited about the spooky stuff. I didn't introduce us to start.
Did we even say
I was so excited about
over that.
Well, it's scary, you know. But voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickard, good guy to know, co-host Dan Berg, and then Professor Perkins, SID, Touchdown Tom.
I don't know.
On the camera, behind the camera.
Yeah, on the camera, behind the camera, but I'm trying to think of what we could call him volleyball-wise. Yeah.
Tri-match, Tom?
I was thinking about that.
But we don't
like
have a tri-match. Yeah, no, we don't.
We don't like tri-matches. They take too long.
I remember the marathon last year I set you guys up for.
Yeah.
It started at like 5 and ended at like 1 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Every match was a 5-set thriller.
They're the best. They're the best. But, all right. So football traveled to Utah.
They did.
Tough task always going out to snow. The snow is very good. Moved up to 4 in the rankings after beating us 50-21. ESPN Plus special, not as good as a Tom Ferguson touchdown Tom special, but
it was really neat to see them on ESPN Plus.
How cool! All things being equal, how cool was that to see our logo with the
all
ESPN
over,
graphics,
and,
you know?
Yeah. So that was really cool,
Yeah.
you know, and I know, and talking with some of the coaches who traveled out there, Snow does a really good job of everything, you know, bringing you out there, and they're very hospitable, and they set you up and set up a walkthrough for you, and you know, so they do a really nice job out there. It's fully supportive of all their sports.
And I know, talking to some of the guys, that they were of course disappointed by the outcome and you know how they performed, but you know on the other hand, you know they get to fly across the country and see a different you know part of the universe they've never seen before.
Great opportunity
so,
for some of these kids who have never flown before, you know, and then you're going out there and it's it's very picturesque, you know.
Sure.
Like you said, the game didn't go the way we had hoped or wanted it to go, but I believe, you know, Coach Dudas said that they were really, really physical, like one of the best teams that he's seen Snow have, and one of the better teams that, you know, and that's why they're moved up to number 4 and earned every bit of that, because we're a good team. And so for them to be able to you know, come out victorious that way.
And I don't know how much difference it would have made. We were a little shorthanded defensively, but I'm not sure if it would have made, you know, that much of a difference.
Seemed like Snow was able to kind of control it, and you know,
from start to finish. Couple plays here and there early in the game, couple penalties.
Yeah, some things that maybe could have changed momentum.
Penalties at key times.
Yeah.
You know, had
not necessarily.
There's things
that
that
make a difference of 29 points. Yeah, probably not. But you know, but back at it again this Saturday because rival Monroe College, they got to travel up to New York,
and that's the good news. You know, the good news is that we still have 2 games. You still go to Monroe, big rivalry game. You're home against Georgia Military. You win those 2 games, you're 8-2, and
a chance to play in a bowl.
You have a bowl opportunity. You know,
and another game, another chance to get on film, another victory for Coach Duda as he adds to his career total.
Sure.
So there's still a lot to play for. I know he rallied the guys yesterday before study hall, and you know, give them a little inspiring speech and let them know the reasons why they're here and what they got to accomplish the next couple of weeks of the semester and the season, and we'll see how it goes. But Monroe streams, right, Tom?
Yes, they do on their YouTube channel, and they also do a pretty good job in terms of like giving us information and all that stuff. So, but it's a 4:00 kick out in New Rochelle. I think at New Rochelle High School is where they're playing, and it'll be an interesting contest. I know Monroe struggled with hockeying this past weekend, but they still won. And anytime you're playing on the road, out at Monroe,
plus it's the second time we're playing them, and you know, there's maybe a little bad blood from the first time. Someone remembers something,
and there's a couple kids on their team that were on our team, and vice versa. You know, so there's a lot of these kids ended up playing against each other in Jersey or Philly, whatever it might be. So a lot of familiarity.
So it's always a highly contested game. So you know, hoping for a nice victory Saturday, and then get Military back here in the cold and see what they have, you know, on the 11th and stuff too. So, and then the other not great part of last week, and of course, soccer ended their season with a 3-0 loss in the region tournament.
Yeah, region semifinals at Mercer County Community College against Massasoit Community College out of Massachusetts. Got hit with a little bit of the injury bug in the first 20 minutes. You know, we were down a player coming into the match, one of the starters. And then during the first 20 minutes or so, had some chances. I think one in particular, like right at the goalkeeper, we put one over from the 6. So things just in the soccer world just weren't on our side. And then you had some injuries, you know, ankle injury with cleats, you know, like a hard tackle, someone I think with like a hamstring or a quad, you know. So now you're down 3, and then you don't really have a bench. So I think all those things kind of contributed. Otherwise, where we would have matched up probably a little bit better. And I think even with all that, they played really hard. You know, we were able to watch some of the live stream. So it was, like you said, a disappointing ending, but you know, everybody's season usually ends that way. I just think that we were hoping that or expecting, you know, not expecting, but getting into that championship to try to get another shot at Mercer.
They were confident. You know, the guys were confident going into it.
So, so those, like you said, after those first 20, then you don't really have any subs to go to a bench for, you know, your last 70 minutes, which isn't the easiest of things to do. But super successful season. I mean, we put 3 players on, you know, the all-region team. We had the Player of the Year, you know, with
Guillermo.
So, you know, a lot of firsts, probably the most wins that we've had. You know,
I think last year they tied the most wins we've had in a season. This year they eclipsed it by 1.
Right. So, and that's with some teams dropping us. You know, there was three or four contests that we didn't play that I'm pretty confident that we would have won. One of them we actually did play them and we beat them. So it would have been a second match. You know, so And unfortunately, those things happen. You know, as we're even seeing that now with some of our winter sports, some teams are dropping out, so they lose those games. So it's unfortunate, but those kids were really battle tested. The coaches did a good job of getting them together. You know, have a successful season, put them in a position to make the playoffs, and not just by default. You know, you go in as you earn that 2 seed and you play tough the whole year. So congratulations to those guys. They did a great job this year.
And then, of course, we'll miss our graduating sophomore soccer players and stuff. There's some good kids there. So, but you know, hopefully we get those first-year guys to come back and keep building the soccer program.
Exactly.
That's the hope. You know, the foundation's there.
And then Winter Sports Media Day took place this past week, so we'll be having a lot of pictures and videos and stuff coming up soon. And basketball will be tipping off next week, right here at home?
Next Thursday, right? The 9th, I think.
It's Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday the 8th?
Okay. Men are Wednesday and the women
the women are Wednesday against Catonsville, and the men are Thursday.
All right.
Right.
Okay. So I know they're both 5 p.m. tip-offs, and we'll talk about that a little bit, next week.
But the men will be home on that Thursday, right? The 9th.
We're both home.
And the women are home, right? So it's.
So some early home cooking, so we'll talk about that. So it's time.
They're both home before they get on the road that next Saturday.
Right.
But wrestling opens up this weekend.
Right.
They're at Keystone College on Saturday. I believe there was on Sunday. I'm sorry. Got some updated information from Coach Barbary overnight.
Okay.
And so they're going to be up at Keystone on Sunday at 11 a.m.
For the open tournament there, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's an open tournament or if it's. I think it's just us going head to head.
Oh,
with
duel.
Keystone.
Okay.
I think it's just a duel. That's my understanding. I think we were in a tournament, like in an open last year.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was looking at our schedules and stuff like that, I am under the impression it might be a duel.
Okay.
But again, I'm not in winter sports much just yet.
Right. Yeah.
But still, a chance to compete.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chance for our guys to get on and
compete. It's the season opener. I mean, all competition can open up November 1. So.
All right. Good. Awesome. So again, busy season. A lot of sports going on, and then
we got to touch on big fundraiser this weekend for esports.
The Extra Life fundraiser happening Sunday the 5th, going from 11 to 11, 12 hours at Bartari in downtown Scranton, where they want people out there because they'll be raffling off different baskets and different things you can win. I think an arcade game's up for grabs. I think there's a PS5 or a Switch, something like that will also be up for grabs too. And raising money to help Extra Life and the Janet Weiss Hospital in Geisinger, to help kids get better. That's the hope.
It's a good support. I think this is the 3rd year that we're doing it, or maybe 4th.
The 3rd year. I think it's the 3rd year because I know my first year might have been the first year we did it. So.
Right. Yeah, so I know he's really excited for that. He's going to a conference this weekend,
right?
Or later this week as well. Just to really kind of getting the esports thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
But yeah, so super excited for that event.
Do they have a Miss Pac-Man down at Bartari?
I believe they have a there's definitely a Pac-Man machine. Right. We were there not too long ago.
If there's a Miss Pac-Man, maybe I'll have to show up.
Oh, does that mean you're going?
Well, maybe if there's a Miss Pac-Man, they got to. I mean, if it's regular Pac-Man,
I think we should just go and find out once we get there. We won't know ahead of time.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
The Jets do play Monday night, so I will be open.
You've got time, right? Right.
So, all right, I'll get my quarters ready.
All right.
All right. Best of luck to Coach Dee and all the esports guys with their fundraiser this weekend.
Yeah, they start up in the playoffs next week. Is when they start with NJCAA playoffs in Rocket League and in Super Smash Brothers.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Is that enough?
Good show. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Send all your unwanted candy corn to 500 Jefferson Avenue and Mike Rickard. And we'll make sure it's disposed of properly.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see everyone next week in the Falcons Corner. Take flight.